CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are live.
We are back once again on another Wednesday. Clusterfucked Media bringing you the latest video game headlines and some sweet video game music.
The best video game music spun by none other than DJ Benham, aka my co-host Drix. I am Vector, and I'm here with the news for you. But Drix, I gotta tell you, the streaming over on the Twitch channel has been pretty nice. I gotta say, Silent Bomber, man, I'm hitting that wall on that boss, and I'm gonna give it one more week. Next week, I told everyone on stream, I'm gonna do a warm up. I'm gonna see research some strats because I want to beat this game, but I don't think I'm gonna go beyond next week.
Yeah, take the time to do your research and consult the internet. You know, GameFAQs has something for everybody. Nobody's reading enough GameFAQs text documents and all their wonderful artwork.
Very true. If your game came out during anywhere between the NES and the Xbox 360, there is absolutely 100% a detailed GameFAQs guide out there for the game.
Yes, feed that into your machine learning.
And we'll see if it actually can play the game. But you know, other than that, I'm excited to jump into the after Silent Bomber. I'm excited to jump into our next big playthrough on CFM on Twitch, over on our Twitch channel. Make sure you're following if you haven't followed. But I'm still up in the air now that I have a little bit of time. You know, that I've had a little bit of time now that Silent Bomber has held me up a little bit. I don't know where I will go for my next playthrough, but I will say it's probably going to be sticking to the modern theme. I'm probably going to play a game that isn't so retro.
Yeah, I'll have Earthbound coming at you next Monday around 8 p.m. Western time. And yeah, I'll cover the retro base. But I would love to see you play Sonic Frontiers for the first time, because that's also something in the recent backlog that I just haven't had a chance to play or gotten enough of yet. And man, boy, do we love songs from Sonic the Hedgehog on CFM Radio.
Absolutely, we do. But you know what else we love on CFM Radio? We love ourselves some good old-fashioned JRPGs. But you know, I have to say,
a little bit of some news from JRPG land, huh?
Yeah, we have a lot of news coming out from JRPG land because, you know, as much as we love Final Fantasy around here, and Chrono Trigger and all these other great things, their parent company, Square Enix, not looking so great, Drix.
Boy, did they pass us a note in the classroom.
No, that is one way to put it. You know, this is a hell of a Post-it to slip underneath my desk.
Yeah, that's what I felt like it was.
Yeah, you know, hey, teacher's not looking. By the way, here it is from hd.squareenix.com/ENG. The announcement from April 30th, 2024 reads, quote, notification of recognition of extraordinary losses. Hey, the teacher's not looking. Here, notification of recognition of extraordinary losses.
By the way, I'm really broke.
I'm really
lost a lot of money. Came back from Vegas gambling and not winning.
Guys, neither of those Final Fantasies did well at all.
No. I always think their projections might be a little too high, but yeah, no. If it's that bad, then we'll see if it's that bad.
So we're just gonna jump right into it here. I'm skipping the very small intro and going right into the details. Number one, nature of extraordinary losses. At the meeting convened on March 27th, 2024, the board of directors at Square Enix Holdings Company Limited, brackets, the company, voted in light of the myriad changes underway in the environment surrounding its group to revise the group's approach to the development of high-definition HD games with the intention of being more selective and focused in the allocation of development resources. As a result of a close examination of the group's development pipeline undertaken in keeping with this revised approach, the company expects to recognize approximately $22.1 billion in content abandonment losses on its books for the fiscal year ended in March 2022. We'll stop there for a second because Drix, 22.1 billion yen.
Yeah, that's I'm not sure what the math is converting it.
Give me 1 second. I'm checking. I'm checking right now.
But yeah, HD AAA games requiring the big teams and the big talent. That's a lot to manage, really, for any company doing that right now.
You know, we just had last week we just had that story of the very seasoned Fable developers who literally had to announce and announced their game and then announced it was like on the back burner.
It got shelved.
Yeah.
It didn't pass inspection and we may never see it happen.
Yeah, and then on top of it, they were saying that publishers what was it? We like the game. We like the what?
Oh, the team.
Yeah, the team. We like everybody on it, but we're just not selling.
Yeah, we're not signing anything.
Yeah, we're not signing anybody.
Sorry, nobody's making card games with deck building digitally as much anymore. So they may have not. We have something in that genre coming out pretty soon that sounds pretty similar from the musician perspective.
Yeah, well, and honestly, that's from the musician's perspective, Drix. I would say that's not just the musician's perspective. That's literally the game industry perspective. I would imagine that it, like you were saying, deck builder. Sounds like one of those genres that sounds particularly hot.
Yeah, or like a niche that's been saturated a bunch right now. The more niche you get, the less of a wide net you get to cast because just the crowd is, a little smaller than your mainstream audience. And it's, when it comes to a big company managing a bunch of people, then you got to take these things into consideration. And your target audience demographic size and such.
And Drix, I just crunched the numbers on the Japanese yen to USD. That loss for Square Enix for us in the West is about 150 or about 141 million dollars.
Ouchies. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
We're not talking about SpaceX. We're talking about Square Enix.
Yeah, that's one way to put it too. And then
Tesla,
Yeah, no, SpaceX is absolutely perfect because it's one of those things. SpaceX, you could write off billions in losses because it's a Dragon engine. You know what I mean? Like when this is an HD high definition games.
Yeah, these are video games we're talking here.
Around $150 million in abandonment losses. Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't think the taxes are as friendly over there either. Not as many holes you can jump into.
Yeah, but we're gonna jump right back into the note from your estranged buddy from the back of the class here. Number 2, Outlook. The company is carefully reviewing its consolidated forecasts for the fiscal year ended March 2024 to assess the potential for impact from the above or other factors. Should revisions to its forecast prove necessary, the company will promptly disclose the same. So, Drix, they're saying we're locking down.
Huh. Yeah, we're going to take necessary measures after
butt
punch we've just taken.
Yeah, so it's just one of those. It's insane to me that this amount of loss, this magnitude of loss, comes hot off the heels of two critically acclaimed games.
Yeah. Wow. You have to find something both the people like and that makes money, huh?
That's insane.
Yeah. Wow. People have liked Final Fantasy as much as we can.
I guess so. Just again,
New
another
audience included, younger gen.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was just about to say last week is another story that we had where we were saying that the audience for Final Fantasy broadened out on the younger demographic because of Final Fantasy 16. But I mean, two Final Fantasies not holding things up to the point where they need to just abandon $141 million. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we've seen some kind of top or like all-time high as far as, visual graphs go. Because, wow, these are like the biggest names in gaming, in the RPGs and everything.
I mean, I think it's either that or maybe as weird as it might be for someone of our generation to say, maybe Final Fantasy and in spite of our story last week, I'll say it like that too. Maybe Final Fantasy just as a franchise just doesn't have the same power that it had when we were growing up.
No, absolutely not. It sure doesn't. That's, if there's anything to take away from this, like, yeah, maybe it's not enough to sustain after $100 million of loss.
Yeah, Final Fantasy might be going on the downturn. Who knows? We'll see what it really comes down to when these losses end up costing them in the long run.
Yeah, sounds like more games getting shelved and a lot of other kind of missed opportunities for things to pop up and for us to play. They
did say that they were canceling multiple projects recently, but again, like I said, and $141 million in abandonment losses, pretty much how many canceled games can you make with that? 2, 3? That's a lot, or at least get from the concept phase. Yeah,
somebody should start a business of reviving canceled games.
Sounds
like that would be pretty lucrative right about
buying
now.
Up old concepts of IPs for concepts that have been shelved. Damn, that'd be wild.
Yeah. Market's great for that. Just go to the store.
And
I'd pick Time Splitters personally.
Seriously, Jesus. Not even Embracer Group, not even being Embracer Group anymore. All that layoff season going crazy. It's what a wild year for gaming. But
yeah, not Saints Row, maybe more Time Splitters.
But I will say it's just gonna get even wilder because now while Square and their RPG house may be experiencing a bit of a shakeup, Funcom is another RPG titan that's having some issues, Drix.
Yeah. What's going on over at this other company?
Over on Reddit, there appears to be a thread that shows off some leaked screenshots of the upcoming Dune MMORPG, Dune Awakening.
Yeah. Big IP coming in hot. That's exciting.
Yeah, huge IP. And we're not showing the screenshots here right now on this cast, but the title of the thread over on our Gaming Leaks and Rumors is titled, quote, Dune Awakening UI and real gameplay images got leaked. And it's exactly what it says on the tin, Drix. Combat, character creation, the planet of Arrakis itself, skill trees, and you know what? There's even some basic base building mechanics that you could see in these screenshots.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time since we had a Dune game on the Sega Genesis.
Oh my gosh.
PS1 even. So that's pretty exciting for some retro fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Dune MMORPG. I think the planet of Arrakis is perfect for that kind of concept. I definitely would think it would be fairly simple to translate. Join House Harkonnen, House, you join House Harkonnen, you join up with the Fremen, you join up with all the various disparate factions, and then interact
we might be able
with
to
the
go see
smaller
their skill
factions
trees right now.
Yeah, it should be pretty good.
Cool. Confirmation from Funcom over on Reddit.
Hey, this isn't confirmation because it's they're just leaks, right? But I think normally when these kinds of leaks surface, confirmation isn't too far behind.
Yeah, it could always be a publicity stunt. There's no such thing, right, as bad publicity.
Very, very true, Drix. And you know what? We've got some new releases coming at you pretty quick right up here. But you know what? This crazy, creepy groove you got going on in the back. What is this?
That was from The Last Spell, a game we actually have a review for on clusterfuckedmedia.com.
A classic. Recently had a expansion, I believe.
Nice. Yeah, that's one I definitely still want to pick up. But speaking of classics, I'm gonna play you Mike's theme from WarioWare Touched.
Here we go, WarioWare Touched, CFM Radio. We'll be right back.
Video game news. CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
Yo, what up?
And you know what? We are back with Drix. We have some new releases, and I hope you're ready to kick the month off with some games.
Oh yeah, it is May 1st, and it's time to show me what you got as far as new releases.
I'm bored. We got some new releases. First up, we have a Switch exclusive Endless Ocean Luminous.
Yeah, get ready to echo your dolphins.
Really,
Swim
right?
Around.
Truly. Now, from the Switch eShop page, quote, take a deep breath and plunge into the Veiled Sea, an unexplored region with discoveries that change with each dive. Scan sea creatures and learn about over 500 species of marine life, some of which are presumed extinct or even mythical. Swim together in groups of up to 30 with a Nintendo Switch Online membership. Greet your fellow divers with a friendly gesture and then delve into the depths to share discoveries. In Endless Ocean Luminous, you can find a way to play that fits your style. And that is a Switch exclusive that's available tomorrow, Thursday, May 2nd. And Drix, this one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. In a world of cozy games, it's time to take your cozy world underwater. That's exciting, because I mean, there's nothing quite as endless and majestic with also mystery.
And 30 players, man, that's a lot of people.
Ooh. Yeah, you're going to get your friends together on this if they're marine biologists and the like.
Your friends, your friends' friends, their friends, like, dude, 30 people in the ocean just floating around, dude, that's got to be cool.
Yeah, it's got to be just like an inner tube on a river, you know. But the river's much bigger.
And it has like whales and sharks and stuff.
Oh yeah, the source of the river itself.
Indeed. Then that's Endless Ocean Luminous. That's hitting you Thursday, May 2nd for all you Switch owners. That's for you exclusively. Next up,
Right.
we have Indica.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, and this one is looking pretty spooky. Now, from the Steam page, quote, play a third-person, story-driven game set in an alternative Russia at the turn of the 19th century, where religious visions clash with harsh reality. Indica tells the story of a young nun who sets off on a journey of self-discovery with the most unusual companion by her side, the devil himself. And you know, this one is also releasing tomorrow, May 2nd, for Xbox Series consoles, PS5, and PC. And Drix, this game is looking pretty good. The visuals look crazy good.
Yeah. It's something about it screams like this is pretty goth to me. Like if you're into, like, surreal levels of poetry or post-punk goth rock, like this looks like almost, you know, music video for something like that if it wasn't so scary looking.
No, Drix, I think you are 100%. You hit the nail on the head when you say that this game evokes a goth feel, because 100% very goth. Like it's one of those things, right? It's like because it's very important to make a distinction between something like this and something that's just straight macabre, right? Like,
yeah, it has like a subtle beauty to it. There's even like interesting camera angles,
right?
And like cinematography, you know, where you're in like the wheelbarrow the guy's pushing, or like, you know, the camera's on top of the character's head or looking just down at him.
Even shots like this right here, you know, like it's one of those things where macabre and horror, like in its pure form, are very, very common in gaming. When you take a step back and you look at the landscape of, like, even games that try to err more on the side of like gothic, such as Black Book, almost end up erring more on the air of folklore or supernatural more than the goth angle. This Indica game looks very much like you said, like has that cinematography where there's the juxtaposition of the darkness and the beauty and how they combine together. I'm very interested to see how this game actually ends up playing.
Yeah, props to anybody that knows how to frame a camera and especially does it in artful video games.
Yeah, just in a 3D space that like this, it's very difficult to manipulate and get these evocative angles that make you feel like almost like you said that make you feel like there's a subtle unease to what you're seeing in spite of the detail and the beauty on the surface. Very, very cool.
Yeah, definitely color balanced.
Yep, and that one is hitting us tomorrow, May 2nd. It's not hitting the old school consoles. No PS4, no Xbox One. It's only Xbox Series consoles, PS5, and PC. So that you know what? Hopefully this one, it looks like it from this B-roll, but hopefully this is another one of those games that really shows off the power of what that hardware can do as far as the lighting effects, right?
Yes, please trace my rays. Give me some ray tracing.
Give me all the ray tracing that you can. And finally, we're going to flip the new releases into another gear because we've got MotoGP 24.
Yes, don't call it a comeback. Here we go. Motorcycles again. Right?
Another one of these games. Like, we had MotoGP we've had MotoGPs, for the last few years, but like you're saying, Drakes, you don't call it a comeback, but it's looking like this is a pretty fully featured MotoGP game. From the Steam page, quote, "Rev up your engines. MotoGP 24 is back. Dive into the heart-pounding action of 2024 of the 2024 season, and immerse yourself in the thrills of unexplored landscapes, all thanks to the revolutionary Riders Market." So the Riders Market is a brand new feature, and that comes along with the returning My Career modes, the returning online modes, and you got to remember this isn't one of those racing games where you can just do willy-nilly whatever you want. This is one of those hardcore simulation games where you really got to know how to ride that balance between the front and the back of the bike and hug and make sure every turn you're not moving your weight too far forward or backwards so you don't flip out and spin out and kill everybody on the track.
Yeah, no turtle shells here. This is not Mario Kart. This is much closer to Gran Turismo.
Yes.
And if you know anybody who is into this sport, it is your duty to mention this to them.
Literally.
If they want to participate in it. Because, I've heard people talk about MotoGP. I think mostly in Europe is where that goes on. But, yeah, if you know anybody who's just into motorcycles and culture, you got to big time give it up for them and be like, did you know this happened? This might be fun for you.
And you know what? You're seeing it on the B-roll right now. Hey, this B-roll is going to get us banned in some regions because it's all these big names in the MotoGP world. So again, if you or anybody that you know is into MotoGP or anything like that, it is your duty to make sure that you give them a heads up that, MotoGP, it's back.
Yeah, check this out, and it is looking better than ever.
All right, here we go. And that is the final thing that we have as far as new releases coming in this week. Pretty well-rounded release schedule, right? Like a little bit of something for everybody this week.
Yeah, it's on the fun, artsy indie side of things. People, that like blockbusters are usually aware of the blockbusters, especially something like Call of Duty or Final Fantasy.
Sure.
But I like this lineup we had today.
Yeah, we had something a little bit artsy, something a little bit more on the level in MotoGP. And you know what? Endless Ocean, that's a Switch exclusive. You don't hear something like a Switch exclusive that's not a Nintendo game every day, right?
Yeah. exactly. Another reason to get the Switch Online multiplayer as well.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for those specifically. I'm targeting those.
Hey, you know what? There's actually, in spite of what people may say, there's actually a lot to offer in when it comes to online play for the Switch. Even when it comes to like free-to-play stuff, you have things like Ninjala, you have things like Pokemon Unite. You have a lot to work with when it comes to you and your Switch gaming.
Yeah, I've had an itch for Pokemon Unite for a while too. Nice MOBA as a Dota guy.
A Pokemoba, if you will.
Yes. Cute,
but skill intensive. But hey, you know what, Drix, I gotta stop and admire this track because this is one of our favorites.
Yes, get ready for some gibberish for all my Sims fans. This is the Sims Vacation, a song called Welcome to the Island.
Welcome to the island from The Sims, CFM Radio.
With a silent stare, raging through the open air, he's without care. Everywhere you look, he's right on time. Moving to the beat. Can you feel the heat when the tigers kiss the street? That love is crazy.
CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
That song was called Urban Fragments from Ridge Racer Type 4, but we got a bit of mystical adventure from Dragon Ball on the Game Boy Advance.
And hey, you know what? This is the perfect track to start us back into the show with Drix, because you know what? We're going to talk next. We're going to talk about a game that, while it is upcoming, is not coming out anytime soon. But we still got to talk about it because they just dropped a sweet new trailer.
Yes, I mean, this is the continuation of the renowned Budokai saga, as it was called in the West. So, yeah, we're going to have a good time with a new Dragon Ball themed fighting game.
Yes, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, as it is now known. And we've been gearing up for the return of Budokai, and that's coming back to us in the form of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, like you said. And that hype train continues with a brand new trailer that you're seeing right now on the screen that showcases a ton of new gameplay and characters. The characters confirmed include Piccolo, Beerus, Whis, and interesting new explorations on Gohan from Future Trunks' timeline, along with the androids from that Doom time period as well. And Drix, this is looking like it's going to be an exciting new release and the perfect tribute to the legendary Akira Toriyama. Because, you know, I don't think you're going to see it upcoming in the B-roll right here in a minute. I don't think we've ever been able to actually explore that Gohan from Future Trunks' era, the one that trained him.
Yep, it was just, you know, you got yourself a 90-minute movie, and that's about it. You know, we've heard quite a bit from Trunks from the future. That was heavily influential in the storyline. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. A bit more of a dire situation more in the, you know, in the apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah, it's very interesting because just having these characters, even Android 17 and 18 from that time period where they, you know, if you're a fan of the series, you kind of know that 17 and 18, they have a little bit, kind of a bit of a redemption arc, you know, and you're seeing that B-roll right now. But these 17 and 18 from the Future Trunks timeline, they're supposed to be pure evil, you know? So, like, I wonder if they even fight any differently.
Yeah, definitely. It's one thing if you can choose them on the roster, but if you're taking liberties with the storyline and stuff, that's a whole other fish hook to get caught up on.
Pretty interesting, pretty cool angles that they're taking these characters. Again, not very heavily explored the Future Trunks timeline, so it's really cool that we'll be able to play as the single-armed Gohan, the battle-hardened Gohan from that era. And man, you know, you see this roster that they're filling out at the end of this trailer here, and my God, Drix, it's huge.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to see, you know, the Sphere in Vegas covered in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 characters. That's really a part of what makes a fighting game a lot of fun.
Yes, I agree. If you have a bunch of cool, interesting characters that you can pick from, your fighting game will always be fun and cool. You know, that's what makes Marvel cool. That's what even makes games like Multiverses, as much as people like to hate on that game, it was super popular for a really long time. You know, because, I mean, hell, who doesn't want to beat the hell out of somebody as Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah, if it's in there, you want it, and it'll be a lot of fun.
And that's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, coming soon, I believe, coming this summer. And Drix, we're gonna be winding down the show here in a little bit, but you know what? I think we should do one more short jam session because I don't know about you, but this guitar on this track, it's got me going crazy. I'm like, whoa! It's transporting me to another world.
Yeah, especially, you know, talking about Dragon Ball. We got the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi Budokai battle theme going on.
Oh, hell
The
yeah.
PS2 game.
Tenkaichi Budokai. We'll be right back. CFM Radio with the finale.
CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back, and we are coming at you with some video game news. The last bit of news on our show tonight.
That last song was "A Soul Can't Be Cut" from Metal Gear Revengeance.
God, and it was such a banger, Drix. I fucking love Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Like, that game is so cool. If you haven't played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, anybody listening, you gotta pick it up. It's always on sale on Steam or like Fanatical or somewhere. It's always on sale somewhere. You get it on Steam. It's so worth a play because it's so ridiculous. Like,
yeah, good times.
And the high
Have you
octane,
screaming Kojima.
right? And the high octane action. Oh my god! Like, but. So we're going into the last part of our show here, and you know what? Stupid me forgot to grab some Alan Wake footage, so we're just gonna let Infinity Blade rock. So if you're here, you're here. If you're not, then oops. But this last part we're gonna touch on tonight is all about the Remedy earnings call, and there was a lot that came at Remedy. If you don't know, makers of Alan Wake. They currently have the Max Payne IP, makers of Control. The Alan Wake 2, huge critical darling this year or last year at the Game Awards. Big name for everybody who is a big time gamer. Drix, Alan Wake 2 has not yet generated any royalties.
Wow.
According to this earnings call.
Still recouping the costs, huh? Well,
it's an interesting thing to think about for me, because one of the things that they neglected to do for Alan Wake was give it a physical release. Like you can't buy a physical version of Alan Wake. It's not possible.
oh wow,
Yeah, no physical Alan Wake 2. If you
All
didn't
right.
know.
that's one cut corner.
Yeah, and they said they probably wouldn't be able to get the game out if they did do a physical release, or if they shot for a physical release. They probably wouldn't be able to get the game out. But I can't help but think that may have hurt it a little bit, even if it was maybe even just a limited run might have worked. Because I just said this game was like a huge critical darling. Like it won a ton of awards at the Game Awards. We were talking about it on this show a good part of last year. Everybody, Alan Wake 2. Drix, it just didn't pan out. It looks like it might, from how they spoke in this earnings call, it looks like it might be they might need a little bit more of like another sales rush to get it over that finish line.
Yeah. Wow, this on top of the Square Enix hit from earlier,
Yep.
These are critically acclaimed games, and people like them, and
Yeah.
a lot of people probably still want to play them. I still haven't gotten my physical copy of Final Fantasy 16, but
Currently on sale, by the way, if you haven't checked it out.
yeah. And yeah, no, a couple of big hits from big names that, games that people really liked.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think about that when it comes to the rest of the call, because a couple of other points on the call were the Max Payne remake currently is a project that's as big as Alan Wake 2. So Max Payne remake right now is as big as Alan Wake 2. And that game they said, was still in a sort of pre-production phase. So that team could get bigger. Drix, then on top of that, both Control and the Alan Wake franchise rights are now wholly owned by Remedy, and they were formerly owned by 505 Games. They've got another game that's the Project Condor. It's a multiplayer experience with a Remedy feel, the quote-unquote Remedy feel. It's been play tested, and it's currently gearing up for a green light. Control 2 is in the conceptual stage, but I mean, here's the thing. They seem like they have a lot going on, and in the earnings call, they said that, or they continuously touched on that they were seeking the final bits of funding, the last bits of funding to get the project over the finish line. These projects look good, they play good. We just need to get them over the finish line. Drix, if I'm looking at these, if I'm an investor and I'm looking at these, and I see you have a critically acclaimed game, and it's not generating any royalties for you yet, how do I think about that?
I don't know. Could be a lucrative business opportunity, or a total fumble.
Yeah, right. It's a very, very strange situation, because they're getting the rights back from a big publisher like 505. That can't have been free. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, sounds like they've still got costs on their hands.
Yeah.
And despite making beloved games, I don't know, maybe it's the marketing. Maybe you got to put a spin on it, or just get the word out there and hit the pavement, But,
especially since the Max Payne remake is supposed to be currently as big as Alan Wake 2, and that's still in pre-production.
Yeah. is it going to draw people away from all the wonderful free-to-play games that are out too?
Yeah, right. That's the big question on every developer, every big publisher's mind is, will this draw kids away from Fortnite, right? Like, that's the big question.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, on the last Xbox developer showcase, Drix, remember we had a Roblox game.
Yep. Yeah, new Roblox content, horror content. Plenty of people out there, of many ages and backgrounds making Roblox content. People buying Roblox dollars in the store.
Hey, Robux, the most consistently valuable cryptocurrency. Never forget.
Exactly.
Like it's kind of wild to think that like we were saying, going back to last week, that we have this weird time in gaming, and here you have Remedy coming out with like a big hitter like Alan Wake 2, still not projecting any kind, like still waiting for the kickback, let's say, from that big award-winning release. And then you have all these other projects in the works in the background. Damn, like, I don't know. Is this kind of like, it's kind of seems like betting the farm a little bit? Like, geez, I guess, but it's really, I don't know how to think about it, honestly. I'm stumbling over myself because I'm just kind of beside myself when I hear things like this, especially, and this is the last point I'll get to, especially towards the end of the call, when one of the investors pointed out that Alan Wake 2 might get a little bit more of a sales bump if it was released on other platforms such as Steam.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because
it's definitely something to consider.
Because right now it's on the Epic Games Store.
Really?
Yes.
And that's it?
And on that and the PlayStation Store and the Xbox Store.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting, huh? Like, it no physical release, no Steam release.
Yeah. Everybody that is already on Steam is guaranteed to have, like, the featured sales turned on, or hot new releases and stuff.
And Steam is always all about trying to get you to look at that, new for you section. Like, and they normally just drop new releases into that area. So,
yeah. Like your Spotify algorithm, just your trusted third-party friend suggesting you things.
Here you go. This is relevant to you, Alan Wake 2. I've never played anything like this. Doesn't matter. Like, but it's very interesting. And what's more interesting is that when they were presented with the questions like that, they sort of dodged it. Like, the spokesperson for Remedy, when he was confronted with when will it be available on Steam, he says that's more projections he can't talk about.
Really?
Yes.
We haven't won that argument internally yet.
Yeah, right. It's a very interesting things going on over at Remedy. It makes me wonder if this Max Payne remaster, the 1 and 2 remasters, will they be even available on Steam? Like, is Steam, first of all, is Steam, and having made, to a lesser extent, having a physical release, really that big of a clinching factor? And we're just not giving it the credit that it's due. And number 2, is the next game that they make destined to fall under this underperforming umbrella simply because they just can't get it out to people?
Yeah, those are the questions that it raises.
It's interesting because, like, it's like you were saying earlier, it's like, you really just got to hit the streets. And it's like, wow, I guess so. Like, go do more dances at the Game Awards like you did, right? Like,
yeah. Or, even the audience that loves it is just not big enough to grab some mainstream attention and sell enough copies. I mean,
Gosh.
Hopefully they didn't buy all the good reviews. That's another thing. That's my question, I guess.
Interesting.
It's like you didn't just spend all the money getting all these good reviews and not enough actual engagement. You didn't buy bots to like your page, did you?
Right? Very interesting angle. Say, hey, you know what? What's cheaper, a marketing campaign or bots?
I don't know what's gonna give you a return on your investment.
Yeah, and here's the thing, the only reason why I would even start poking fun at this concept at all is because they came out and they said that they couldn't really do a physical release or else they might not even be able to release the game. So if you're that strapped for cash,
yeah, you're gambling already.
yeah, you're absolutely, Drix. You're already sitting at the blackjack table. So
yeah,
we might as well
speculate.
Yeah, we might as well speculate what you're betting, right?
Yeah, the farm, indeed.
Indeed. But you know what? I'm gonna get far away from the farm, and well, actually, that's not true. I'm probably gonna play some more Age of Wonders. Who the hell am I kidding? And there's plenty of farming in that.
Yep, you gotta feed the people. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a little bit of hell diving myself after picking that one up yesterday.
Nice. Helldivers 2, very, very cool game. Very, very awesome. Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll have some. Maybe Drix will give us some B-roll of it.
Hey, yeah, nice. We'll be seeing you in space. I named my ship the Song of the People.
Oh hell yeah, that's what's up. The Song of the People. Hey, you know what? Whether you're in sci-fi futuristic space like Drix in Helldivers, or you're like me in the Age of Wonders fighting dragons with swords and pikes and magic,
or even cozying up in a farm game and having regular relationships
in a real farm game, or just trying to pay off your debts in Animal Crossing. We hope you have a great night, a great week in gaming, and we hope you join us next week over on CFM on Twitch for our weekly gaming streams. More Silent Bomber. We'll have more. Drix will be getting at you with Earthbound. Should be awesome. And then of course CFM Radio every Wednesday. Drix,
thank you guys very much for tuning in and for checking us out everywhere online. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Make sure you remember to give us a subscribe. Follow us over on Twitch. Like us over on Facebook and Instagram. And follow us over on TikTok. Have a good night. Keep gaming.